All right, so let's end the podcast making some picks for week 3 here in college football. One thing I've forgotten to been doing is for each of these promoting something from MVP. So I'm going to promote our Twitch page, twitch.tv/mostvaluable podcast. With this working more, I kind of record here in the studio. I don't have to record these on OBS. I can go live on Twitch. Eventually, we're going to get sooner rather than later podcasts live on Twitch. We play games on Twitch as well. So twitch.tv/mostvaluable podcast. And for you Twitch Prime subscribers, hit that sub button because our Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime gives you a free Twitch token each and every month. So the way I'm looking at it is, why not us? If you watch our content and want to support us, throw that token our way if you want to. For it would help us out. It helps us get new things, helps us towards our major goals for MVP. But the one change I'm going to make to picks, and this is from a comment, is I'm going to look up the commenter from the last time that I made picks. And from what the comment said was, I was complaining week 1. You guys know me, that all of these games are boring and the picks stink because I'm going to pick this team every time and there's going to be no upsets. Well, I had a comment from Kevin Paul who said, pick against the spread. It'll be more interesting. And out of us here at MVP, I would say the betting man, although I don't know how many times he's actually bet on a sporting event, but he knows the lines very well, is Sean Anderson. And I know Sean said, hey, next time you're making picks, let me know, but I didn't know I was going to do the podcast this late on a Monday, as it's nearly 11:40 at night here, and Sean's got a weird sleeping schedule. So Sean, that's why I didn't let you know. But hey, I may be having Sean on for these. Can have him on via Discord through OBS. So I'm going to try to pick these week 3 games differently than I have. Usually it's been straight pick 'em. As you guys know also, Brandon isn't really a huge spread guy. When it was me and him, he never liked picking against the spread, although I mentioned the lines. But this year, I'm going to make a conscious move now to pick more towards the spread and have it be more of like a betting favorite pick instead of just straight pick. So how we do it here on the podcast is we go right down the line and we go all the top 25 games. And then at the end, I kind of give, hey, this is the non-top 25 team that I want to give some love to heading into week number 3. So I'm just going to get it started. The first game we've got is a Friday night game, September 13th. We've got Washington State 2-0 going up against Houston at 1-0. And for the Houston Cougars, they've been blowing out opponents. Gordon's been great at quarterback, 58, 59 points each time. For Houston, they put up about 30, 33. So the way I'm looking at this one is, I've got the Cougars winning this game. And the line right now is Cougars by 8.5. I think they easily get that. They're easily going to win by more than 9 points. So going with the Cougars, they are going to basically, the betting term shown to be able to help it out here. I don't think it's cover the spread, but hey, you know what? They're going to win. They're going to win by more than 9 points. That's basically what I am telling you right there. Then the next game, Arkansas State and number 3, Georgia. Georgia's a 33-point favorite. Let's see. They won the last game against Murray State, 63-17. Yeah, I think they win by more than 33 points in this game. Going with the Georgia Bulldogs, they should be able to roll easily in this game. Although you've got Logan Bonner, who's good for the Red Wolves. Bulldogs win with ease. I would be shocked if they don't win by more than 33 points. Then you've got Ohio State and Indiana, and yes, this game has been close in the past. Last year was not close. Justin Fields and J.K. Dobbins has been absolutely insane for this team. I said DK because I was thinking Metcalf from the Seahawks, but J.K. Dobbins, they've been insane. 45-42. They just beat Cincinnati 42-0. They are right now a 15.5-point favorite I've got OSU. OSU wins by easily more than 16 points. Like, that's something that, to me, I mean, it's one of those where, like, in the past, I know Indiana has played the Buckeyes tough, but I mean, last year it wasn't close. You get Fields. Dobbins has been good. Buckeyes win by more than 16. Then you have Penn State going up against Pittsburgh. Penn State's a 17-point favorite. Oh, this is one that may bite me in the butt because Pittsburgh usually plays opponents closely. But I'm going to say that the Nittany Lions win by more than 17. They're just coming off a win against Buffalo, 45-13. They scored 79 in their week 1 game. I know it was Idaho, so let's pump the brakes there. But this is a game that at home, in front of their Penn State crowd, they should be able to get the win, and they will win by more than 17 points. Then you got Maryland going into Temple, another game in the state of Pennsylvania. Maryland's an 8-point favorite. This is a team that I don't know how the line is only at 8 points, because this is a Maryland team that just put 63 up on Stanford, the 21st ranked team in the country. I think they win, even if it's a 10-point win for Maryland. I think they win by more than 8 points. This is just disrespect to the Maryland Terrapins to have them only win by 8 points, because like Temple, yeah, they beat Bucknell 56-12, but that was Bucknell, not the Maryland Terrapins. Terrapins get the win by more than 8 points. Then going to Notre Dame, they're a 35-point favorite against New Mexico coming into town. This one I'm going to say yes. I mean, Louisville was a tougher opponent. They're playing in Louisville. But I'm going to say Notre Dame gets the win by more than 35. I almost wanted to say New Mexico and take the points, but I think that'd be a stupid thing to do. So I'm going to take Notre Dame winning by more than 35 points, which is what they're favored to win by. Alabama, 25.5-point favorite over South Carolina. This is another one. It's easily going to happen. Like, Alabama's going to get the win. They'll win by more than 26. So I'm going to take Alabama to win against South Carolina. Then the first one that I actually have to look up the odds, Stanford at number 17, UFC. And this is one where we know about Stanford. They had a loss against, or a close win, I should say, against Northwestern, 10 points. They lose by 25 against USC. Almost said UCF. They're playing UCF. Golden Knights with Wimbush and Gabriel win by 62. And then, let's see if my math is right, that is 34 points. Ooh, UCF is a 7-point favorite. It's all going to depend on if Costello is playing. I am going to do a quick kind of look up at Costello. He's ruled out against UFC for sure. I'm not seeing anything. He was questionable last week. I'm going to say this. If Costello plays, I think they get the win. But just to be safe, I'm going to take UCF to win by more than 7. Oh man, this is a prime one where, you know what? I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be bold here. Even if Costello plays, I'm going to take Stanford and the points, meaning I'm going to take UCF to only win by 3. This is one that's going to bite me in the butt. I know it. UCF is probably going to win by more than 7. But just to cover myself with the Costello, I'm going to take Stanford and the points, meaning even if Stanford wins, that I would be right if I'm correct. Betting guys, help me out here. But I'll take Stanford and the points. I'll say UCF wins by 3. Then USC versus BYU. This line is USC by 4 points. BYU, they're coming off a 4-point win. Their loss wasn't that great, and that was at home. I'm going to take USC. I think they win by more than 4 points. This is one that... this is another one that's prime for... I almost want to take BYU in the points because I think USC will win. but I'm not. I'm going to take USC to win by more than 4, although my judgment is telling me I should take BYU and the points. Then we got Arizona State and Michigan State. Michigan State is a 13-point favorite. They have won by more than that in their last 2. Arizona State also coming off of wins in their 2 games. I am going to say, this is the 3rd home game for Michigan State, 1st road game for Arizona State. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to take Arizona State in the points here. So even if Arizona State wins, I'll be safe. But if Michigan State wins, it's going to be less than 13. It's going to be like a 10-point, 7-point victory. So I will take Arizona State and the points. So I think Michigan State will win, but I'll take Arizona State in the points because I think Michigan State will win by less than 13. Then Iowa State. This one, throw it up in the air. Iowa's a 2-point favorite. I'm going to take Iowa because I don't see Iowa State winning, but I see Iowa winning by 3 or more. So I'm going to take Iowa just to be safe, although I also think Iowa gets the win because they're the better team in this one. But with this rivalry, just throw a coin in the air, and you'll be right half the time. Then the Utah game. This is another one where I have to look up the odds because they don't have them. It looks like Idaho State and Utah, 35 or 36.5-point favorite, are the Utah Utes. I'm going to go ahead and take the Utes in this one. I think they beat Idaho State by well more than 36? Yeah, 36.5. They win by way more than 37 points. Then you got Auburn and Kent State. Yet again, another easy game in this one where, there are 35 points. You know what? I'm going to be Kent State. How are we doing here? How many points? They lost by, let's see if my math is correct, 23. You know what? I'm going to take Kent State and the points here. Auburn's going to win, but they're not going to win by 35 points. I think Kent State will keep it below the 35, so I'll take Kent State and the points. Auburn gets the win below 35 points in that one. Then we've got Florida and Kentucky, a big SEC matchup. Florida's an 8.5-point favorite in this one. Kentucky coming in, let's see, last year had these 2 teams play. Last year it was a 9-point game in favor of Kentucky. Kentucky's on 2-0, and they've been winning by, I'm going to go with Florida in this one. I'll go Florida by 10, so they'll go ahead and cover. They'll win by more than 8.5. I'll take Florida as a 10-point favorite in that game against Kentucky. That's going to be a good one, though. I just think that this Florida team is good enough to beat Kentucky, but not good enough to beat like the LSUs and the Alabamas, and therefore Texas A&M Lamar. What's even the line of this one? Because they don't even show the line. No, I don't want to bookmark it. Lamar and number 16 Texas A&M, 43.5-point favorites are the Aggies in this one. I'm going to take Lamar in the points because Texas A&M only put 41 up on Texas State and they let up a touchdown. I think it'll be kind of similar. They're not going to win by 43 points. So I'm going to take Lamar. But it is Lamar. Let's see what Lamar has done this year. That was bad. You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm going to take Texas A&M to basically win by 43 because I just saw Lamar and they gave up like 60-some points in week 1 to a team that's not Texas A&M. So I'm going to take Texas A&M to win by more than 30 or more than 44 points and be well over that 43.5-point line. Then the next game, Clemson and Syracuse. This is a 27.5-point favorite. Are the Clemson Tigers. I'm going to say Clemson wins by more than that. They played Georgia Tech extremely well. I mean, Texas A&M was a tough team, but this team should be able to win easily over Syracuse after how many points did Maryland put up on Syracuse? So, yeah, Clemson wins by way more than 28 points. Then you got LSU and Northwestern State, which LSU is going to be a 50.5 point favorite. Whew. And I know they won by 52 in game one. Oh, 50.5. You know what? I'm going to do it. LSU will win in the same fashion that they played Georgia Southern. I'm going to take, this is an interesting one because I almost want to feel bold and say, go ahead and take Northwestern State and the points, because there's a chance that LSU gets to 50-3 and they go, nah, we're good. We don't need to score. Or again, Northwestern State has only given up 42, but scored 20 and then lost 33-7. Oh shit. Part of me wants to say take Northwestern. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say that LSU wins by more than that 50.5 point line. But there's a good part of me that wants to take Northwestern State and the points in that one, because there's a chance LSU could win by less than 50 points in that game. Then you've got Hawaii and Washington. Washington is a 21.5 point favorite. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. How's Hawaii been doing this year? Damn, Hawaii's 2-0. You know what? I'm going to go upset alert here. I'm going to go Hawaii to win the game. Yeah, I'm going to go Hawaii to win the game against Washington. Hawaii's been on a roll the last two. Washington didn't look good against Cal. I'm going to go with Hawaii with the win over the Washington Huskies. And then we've got Florida State and Virginia. Virginia, a 7.5 point favorite. They're coming off of two big wins. Florida State lost against Boise State, won in overtime. I'm going to take Virginia. Virginia wins this game. Florida State has not looked good this year. The Willie Taggart era might be coming to an end. And as if you guys are new to the podcast, I am not big on Willie Taggart. Then we've got Oklahoma and UCLA. Oklahoma is a 22.5 point favorite. I think they do that easily. Jalen Hurts will have another big at least three touchdown game through the air, if not more. Take Oklahoma in that one. Then you've got Texas and Rice. Texas will bounce back in that one, winning by more than 31 points against Rice. So I'm going to take Texas at NRG Stadium in Houston. Then you've got Portland State versus 22 Boise State. And this is one that's going to be a little interesting. Boise's played both of their games really close. And this is also one where I have to look up the line. The line is 31.5. And I know Marshall's a tough opponent. Florida State's a tough opponent. I'm going to take Portland State and the points in this one. I think Boise gets the win. I don't think it's more than 32. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Boise wins. Portland will keep it below the 31.5. So I'll take Portland Portland State and the points. And then the last ranked game, Montana and Oregon. This is one that I have to look up. This one is a 37.5 point favorite to the Oregon Ducks. I'm taking Oregon with that one all day. They just come off of a 77-6 win. I've got that winning that one, no problem. And then my non-top 25 game, I got to go to my Illinois Fighting Illini against Eastern Michigan. They won 42-3 against Akron at home in week 1. They won 31-23 on the road at UConn this next week. This is another slap in the face line. Illinois, an 8.5 point favorite to win over Eastern Michigan, who's Eastern Michigan played this year. They just lost to Kentucky 38-17, and they beat Coastal Carolina 30-23. Illinois wins more than 8.5. I'm taking the Illini in this one to win by more than 9 points. They will go on to go 3-0. So here's what I want you guys to do. Number one, I have a big betting question for the bettors out there, because the lines and understanding them, this is a learning process. I am learning this along with you. I agree with you guys. Going along with the spreads and kind of picking against the spreads is way more interesting than doing straight picks. So I've got one big betting question, and I know I could easily ask Sean, but I'd rather ask you guys. I'll probably ask Sean too. So Sean, don't feel hurt. I'm probably going to ask you as well. Is there a difference? Let's say it's, for example, what was one of them? For example, Montana, Oregon. We'll just use that one as an example. If Oregon is a 37.5 point favorite, do I have to say like, oh, Montana and the points, and I have to say Oregon will still win? Or can I say Montana and the points, meaning if Montana covers, I win, but if Montana also wins the game, I win? Please explain that to me down below, because like I said, I'm a novice at this. I ain't going to hide it. I ain't going to try to seem like some betting expert. I'm along this ride with you guys. You guys want me to pick with the spread because it's interesting for you. It's interesting for me. So I'm kind of learning this as we go, and then I'll become better with it as we go along. But those are my picks for week number 3. Let me know what your picks are down below in that comment section. I want to thank you guys for either watching or listening to this podcast. Let me know what you think of the new setup that I'll be doing for these solo podcasts that are just me, because it's easier to do them here in my home studio. Also, make sure to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Make sure to follow us at twitch.tv/mostvaluablepodcast. Going to be doing these podcasts live, starting sooner with these ones, just because it's easy to put that button on, and then I'm live on Twitch. Also, rate and review the podcast on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Ricky Widmer, and Most Valuable Podcast on Twitter at Most Valuable Pod. Want to thank you guys for the watching on YouTube, listening on podcast services around the world, and as always, have a good day, everybody.